Yo, what's good, y'all, man? We back with another video for y'all today, and today I'm going to be breaking down how simple it is to make dark samples just like the one y'all just heard. This whole sample is pretty much made using synths like my Pro 3, my TO5, and the Hydra Synth Explorer, but I am going to be using Notanic to kind of show you guys what I was doing when I was making this melody. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I added was this lead out of my Pro 3. So I got Notanic pulled up, and pretty much what I do when I want to get a dark tone for a sample, you could just say I play like a D. So it sounds cool, it sounds full, but it doesn't sound dark. So I'm gonna take the D5 right here, and then I'm gonna move it up 2. And see how that adds more tension and makes it sound more dark. So then I take the next note, which is the E, and then I just go up 2 more. So my Pro 3 was paraphonic, meaning I could only play 3 notes, which makes it sound really weird. And that's pretty much what I did for the first sound. So the next thing I added was another synth pad using my TO5. Pretty much I did the same thing as I did for the Pro 3, but this time, to make your dark samples sound more unique, you're playing the same things pretty much, but you're just playing it in different orders, different octaves, just to make everything sound different. It might be the same note, but the whole sample sounds different playing the entire time. Say I just played the same thing we got. Okay, you got the same notes, but now you have a different sound, and you can just play it in a different order. Now I try to make sure I don't chop up the melody too much, putting it back on time. Even those little off time mistakes make the sample sound way more unique. So the next thing I did was I went back to my Pro 3 and I added this distorted bass. So the bass is pretty much self-explanatory. All I did was I just held down the note that I was playing, and I have a modulation wheel right here, and I was just sliding up, and as you hold the note, it gets more and more saturated and distorted just to make it sound more unique. The thing I added was the synth preset out of the Hydra Synth. So just like the other sounds, like I said, all the notes are really the same thing playing, just a different sound, different order in which the notes are playing, a different octave. Everything just is gonna fit together because you're using the exact same notes. So that's just another way to stand out, make your samples unique in terms of dark samples, but I wouldn't suggest doing that for all of your dark samples, obviously, because you don't want everything to sound the same, but that's just a technique I like to use when I'm making dark samples. The next thing I added was a perk loop. You probably heard this in the last video. All I did was I just reused it. I like to reuse a lot of my textures, vocals, perk loops I make. I just reuse all of them. The very last sound I added was this piano out of the Hydra Synth, and I think this is pretty much what made the sample like really stand out. So I'm gonna try and see if I can kind of replay what I did using the Hydra Synth. Obviously, some of y'all might not have a synth, so you can really just get any piano, synth, whatever y'all want to use. So you can just pull up a delay. Like I'll use Delay Brigade. That's a plugin y'all can find. Fruity Delay, any plugin. I got the delay built into the synth right here. So I'm gonna play that chord I played at the beginning of the video, this chord right here. And if you can somehow reach the octave button, if you have a MIDI or something like that, so I like to just play like this. Turn up the delay a little bit, feedback. Your feedback is how long your delay is being played for. And I just kind of... And you kind of just want to run up the scale. You can also, if you want to, while you're playing it, changing the time, as long as your delay isn't synced, it will make like a cool warping effect. You can do all of this in a plugin. You don't need to have a synth to do this. You don't need to have the same synth sounds to do this. And this is what the final sample sounds like. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this tutorial because I really like this sample. If y'all did learn something new, enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, follow me on IG, Keyon. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. The OGs are still here, so everyone else is already gone. So if y'all are at this part of the video, comment like they don't know. So pretty much we got the loop and it had a lot of energy, but it still didn't have as much energy. So my boy Cloud and Mac put me onto this thing right here. If you click a sample and go into this multiplicator knob, you can turn it down by 50% and then put it on stretch mode. And this is what the loop sounds like now. Bro, that's crazy. That's just some sauce I learned yesterday. But that is crazy. That makes samples like... You can do that on a lot of different samples if you're already at a low BPM, because we were at 128. But if you do this at like 150, it's probably going to sound ass. So I probably wouldn't try that. But you can experiment. Do whatever you want. You know, there's no rules. If you're still here watching, I appreciate y'all for watching the video all the way to the end. And you know, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe. Peace.